Well, general thoughts, I thought it was a very mentally taxing game. Um, Certainly it was a difficult game to play. They had some adjustments we had to deal with, and it was we didn't make them as smoothly and as efficiently as I would have liked. Um, their goaltender was outstanding, and I was starting to wonder if it was going to be our night. Thankfully, we tied the game, and you saw in overtime we snuck it out.
Norm, in the first, you had a decisive advantage on the face-off wins, 13-8, and come second period, they closed the gap from you had 21 wins, and I'm sorry, you had 23 wins, and they had 21. So they started to creep back into the possession game with you.
Yeah, oddly enough, I thought when Diamond left the game, I thought their urgency with their team went up 2 notches.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what was most concerning as a coach, is that you never want to lose the stick battles, you never want to lose the urgency. And they were out competing us for a good 10-12 minute spurt. And fortunately, like I said, we were able to get a tying goal, and we almost missed scoring right at the end of the third period, but almost doesn't count. It's I respect their team greatly. I thought they competed very hard. They should be commended for such a great effort, and I couldn't be more pleased about our team moving on to the Garden. It's exciting for our guys. It's a necessary step, and I'm looking forward to playing again.
Considering the back and forth of the series between you two this year and the fact that Walleye was playing so well, were you just thinking in the back of your mind, this just might not be our night?
Yeah, it does. It creeps into your mind. Even when they're reviewing that goal for 4 to 5 minutes, it doesn't make life any easier, But Martin was he was on. I mean, let's face it. He stopped a few that I thought they were already in. So he was excellent tonight. He's outstanding, and I thought it was a very, very mentally challenging game for Connor. When you only face 18 shots, and there's a lot of time in between shots, it's harder for a goaltender than facing 35 or 40 and facing a barrage at a time. So there was a lot of signs that it was going to be a difficult game, and I'm pleased and excited that we were able to end it tonight.
Coach, can you comment on the special teams? They got the power play goal, and you guys weren't able to go and capitalize on the 2 5-minute majors.
Yeah, and another sign that I thought the series might be prolonged. You have to show a greater level of urgency on special teams if you're going to capitalize, and we weren't good enough in that area, and you start to wonder if you're going to get it done. And it's not every game's perfect, and this whole weekend wasn't, but I also give credit to the other team because they do a lot of things to bring you out of sorts, and there's certainly that effect tonight on some of our guys.
Coach, you mentioned when Diamond was disqualified, you brought the intensity up a couple notches. In the third period, did you guys change anything to combat Diamond's dismissal?
No, we tried to get it in deep, and because at times they went into a 1-4, and that's extremely difficult to play against, as evidenced by the UNH weekend last weekend. UNH couldn't penetrate, and I wasn't about to let that happen to us, but quite frankly, it's very difficult to play against, and I give them a lot of credit. Their guys were certainly competing very hard. They were strong with net front stick battles, and they were winning loose pucks, and it only takes one turnover, as you know, to go back the other way. So that's why you have a concern as a coach, because unless you win the stick battles and the races to the puck, it might go the other way. But thankfully for us, we waited it out. We tried to get it in deep, manage the puck a little bit better as the third period went along, and it took overtime.
Is it bittersweet anyway, knowing that obviously you're going out, but the way it happened to you and Tim, considering you're all tied together?
Well, yeah, we're competitors. I mean, somebody's got to win, and I would have liked to have played maybe another opponent. He played another opponent. We both meet at the Garden, but that's a game. It's part of the game, and he respects the game so much, and so do I. And somebody's got to win, and thankfully this year it was us.
Just talking about the importance of being able to take advantage of home ice this year and get to that next step that you couldn't get to last year.
Yeah, no, home ice is a great, you saw a great crowd tonight. I was excited to see some of the students come back for this game. And I thought it gave us a little bit of an edge. We certainly weren't we weren't at our best possibly in certain situations, as you mentioned on the power play. However, we found a way to get it done, and I think the crowd plays a part in that. And playing at home certainly is a big piece of that also.
Norm, were you surprised that they cranked it up after Diamond went out?
Not really. They beat us earlier in the year without Diamond in the
That's
lineup the second night. And quite frankly, I know as a coach, when you lose one of your better players, everybody takes it up 10%, and that's all it takes. Everybody's better, and it's concerning, especially when you know that as a coach and you're sitting on the opposing bench. And it's hockey. It's everybody cranks it up maybe a notch, and you have a better team because of it.
Coach, you're done now on Friday night, while your next opponent might not be done until Sunday. Does the extra rest help or hurt your team, do you think?
I don't think it plays a huge part right now. The adrenaline's going. These kids could play tomorrow if they had to. They're young, and so I don't think it's going to hurt. But as far as an advantage, I wouldn't go that far.
Derek, can you walk us through the winning goal from your perspective?
When I saw it, it was kind of broke out, and we sent in Wilson and Folan on a 2-on-1. Wilson made a nice play getting puck over to Folan. Folan got a stick on it, got it on net. Me and Fallon kind of saw there was a break. We joined the rush. Folan got the shot on net. Puck came up. Fallon got a hand on it, spun around, and puck was just right there in the crease, and I was able to whack it in.
What was going through your head in the 4 to 5 minutes of the review? Did you know it was a goal? Did you think there was any kind of hand pass or skate that got involved?
Well, we knew there was a hand pass in there. Me and Fallon were talking on the bench. We kind of couldn't really remember just because of all the excitement. But he the refs made the right call, and we were able to come out with the victory.
So you must have ruled that he got his stick on it because there would have been he must have took a whack at it because he was credited with an assist.
Yes, yep. He definitely touched it. And
With a stick?
yes.
Okay.
The ruling on Yates, just to clarify, is it wasn't, he knocked it down for himself,
Yeah.
and he spun around, and that's why it wasn't a blatant hand pass to another player. That's what the ref said after the fact.
Derek, what was the feeling for the team going into the overtime?
Well, we had been in some situations like this previous, early in the year, and we were confident enough that it was within our locker room, and we had a good third period, and we were just trying to build on that going into overtime.
On the other hand, your coach said that it creeped into his mind a little at some point that it wasn't our night to do the same for you.
No, I think definitely within our locker room we had faith in each other, and we knew that we had it within us.
How frustrating was Willette?
I don't know.
He must have made a bunch of grade A saves, 17 grade A saves in 3 periods.
Yeah, he definitely played a good game, but the result wasn't there for him.
Norm, when Scott Wilson came back off that first breakaway and Willette made that tremendous glove save, it was right down in front of us. Do you have any words on the bench that you can say on radio and TV?
No, I never. You know what? When guys shoot too much or get breakaways, I'm excited for them. You know what? You're gonna miss. That's what makes hockey so excited. It's turnovers. It's great plays, and he happened to get that one. It was a great save. I thought there was a couple outstanding saves that I thought were in, but they weren't, and so we dealt with it and we persevered. And that's what I'm proud about that locker room. Is I think they had some resiliency this weekend. You need it when you're playing good teams like Maine. You need to persevere.
Derek, Diamond gets ejected. You guys can't score on that power play. It's the second 5-minute major you can score on. Seems like it would have been an easy time to get deflated, but you guys came back and scored a minute later. Just what was the mindset of the team at that point?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can get frustrated after a time like that, but you know, we used it to our advantage. We created momentum off that and looked at the positives, that we had some good opportunities. You know, we had a big shift by Fallon's line there, and, you know, he was strong in front of the net and, you know, scored a big goal for us.
You initially verbally committed to Maine, you wind up at UMass Lowell. Is there, you know, is it a better, you know, sort of a bittersweet feeling tonight?
It doesn't matter to me personally. A win's a win, and you know, a trip to the Garden for the team, and especially for the seniors, is what, you know, the most important thing right now.
You just talked about, you kind of just touched on being able to take that next step and get to the Garden, first time for everyone on this team.
Yeah, it's definitely very exciting. You know, maybe a little eye-opening, but you know, we're going to have a good week of preparation, and you know, figure out who we play with in the next few days, and be prepared for them on Friday.
The last 5 seconds of the game, when the puck was right inside, sitting in the crease, did you guys think you had a real, true opportunity to really put the icing on the cake at the very end then?
You know, from the bench, it did look like Scott had a good opportunity there, but with the clock and you know, it just wasn't in our favor at that point.